Welcome to episode 37 of Confessions of an SEO. I am your host, Carolyn Holzman. You have found the least tactical SEO podcast on the planet. Now, any tactics you find in here are completely by accident. So this is where you're going to hear more about the people side of SEO. This is agnostic information concerning SEO from someone who's been there on both sides. A brick and mortar business owner for over 28 years, just trying to make more business, and a reformed client SEO of 12 years, now seriously seeking SEO researcher, tester, and consultant. But I'm not here to sell you anything. When it comes to client SEO, I deeply believe that the farmer and the cowboy should be friends, that there are mutual revenue opportunities when we understand each other's work better. And frankly, I'm tired of hearing business owners say they got scammed and good SEOs getting hung up on when they reach out to earn new business. So, if you are an SEO, you can relax and bask in a few minutes where your profession is respected. If you're a business owner or a C-suite executive working with an SEO marketing group, I hope you hear something here that will both help you and to help you understand the SEOs that you're working with. Good morning, peoples. I know I said last week that this would be part 2 of an article on how to hire an SEO company, but things have come to light that I think are far more timely to talk about. And since most are not talking about it, the short straw fell to me, and well, I can do whatever I want. It's my podcast, right? So, all right. Now, in last week's show, I mentioned that I was sharing my research real time, and it was regarding Google's indexing. Now, since publishing this information, which you can find for yourself if you want to Google it, type in Google Index Detector and look for the result from AmericanWayMedia.com. That's my company. It is ranking a solid number 7 spot. Now, how do I even know that? So I'm going to sort of tattletale on myself here a little bit. I happen to have some access to software that basically shows that there is an immense amount of volatility in the Google search results. So if you take the same keyword, this software searches multiple times sequentially for that same thing, and then outputs a visual that shows you on a line graph. It's difficult. It's like describing a color. I know this is, but anyway, the point being is it's not necessarily to tell you the software, but just tell you that I'm looking at this diagram. And what shows the volatility is that things either, they're like a little dash, so they're solid, they don't move around, or they have a green ribbon, which means they're being tested up in a positive way, or they have a pink ribbon, which shows that they're being tested down. So as I was scrolling through this list of like 100 URLs, you can't really see all of it in the window. So I was looking over on the left side, just scrolling down through all these little graphs, and I saw this enormously long pink ribbon, and I was like, man, who is this sucker? And I swirled it to see the left side, and it turned out it was me. It was my Twitter that I had just published this morning. So obviously Twitter's getting some degree of indexation, but anyway, I just thought it was super funny, and it made me laugh. So anyway, that's how I know this is a solid 7. So now, when you get to the page that I'm telling you about, the question is always, what is it going to tell you? And this is a visualization of my research data, which was trying to answer some questions. And the 3 that I am most interested in are, 1 is Google ingesting new content every day. Is Google rendering content within JavaScript? If you don't know what that is, you're probably not using it. And if Google isn't indexing every day, how long does it take to get new content indexed? So every afternoon, a new page is manually created. It's uploaded and submitted via a sitemap, RSS feed, and within the Google Search Console. And for every page that is launched, there are 2 unique to Google keywords that when you put them and search for them, if Google has indexed this content, it's going to return that test page for one of the 2 keywords. Now, every morning, there is an ever-increasing length of search URLs that I run to see which of the pages, since this site was launched, which was August 25th, which of the pages show up for one or both of their keywords. Now, I think we need to understand that it is not standard for an SEO tester to publish their research at large, or at least currently. And I hope to change this. So for now, let's just say it's unorthodox and uncommon, which was reflected by the range of responses from the SEO community that went from, "Oh, wow, thank you," to, "Do you mean that all my optimized pages that I just published are not boosting my client site?" to, "What the heck is this? I don't even understand it. This is useless." So that, my friends, is why we're going to talk about this today. If we as SEOs don't 100% get the existential impact of indexing, how do we hope our clients will get this? All right, hang with me here because we're going to talk about indexation for the rest of this, but I swear you'll be okay. So the first thing is in Google's Webmaster Guide, there are 4 activities that are involved in search engines. And I'll do the short version. The first thing is discover. Our pages must be discovered or the bots can't come. The second thing is crawl. Our pages must be set up so that the bots can crawl once they discover that a page is there. The third thing is index. Our pages, passing the first and the second, they have to go through being able to be discovered and then crawled. So once they can do all that, then things start to get indexed. And this is so that they can be contained within Google's index. Every search engine has its index, but we're talking about Google's index. And the fourth thing is rank. Once our pages have been found, crawled, and indexed, they get, for the lack of a better word, scored and ordered within the search algorithm. And that's what we call rank. So unless I'm missing something, the only thing in that list of 4 within our control is making our pages discoverable, because everything else happens on Google's site, and everything that happens is in consecutive order. Pages don't get indexed before they get crawled. Pages don't get ranked before they're indexed. So everything from that first thing, which is in our control, everything else is outside. So when we publish pages and we have no technical obstacles to discovery, the bots are supposed to come. And they do. I'm looking at the server logs. They do come. So when I started in SEO testing, which was 2015, all 4 of these things happened almost instantaneous. I could publish 5, 7, 10 test pages, submit those through Google, and within 5 minutes, I could have a test result. Those days are long gone. In fact, just thinking about them, it's almost like SEO porn. For some reason, the way to explain all this, we've all either been quoting Google's guidelines as the explanation for why we're seeing what we're seeing, or we're blaming ourselves for having done it wrong. Now, when clients don't really know how things work, and let's face it, most local businesses do not. For the most part, I'm telling you, when I talk to or I'm listening to other people talk about their conversations with local business owners who say they do their own SEO, most are really only running Facebook ads and Google ads and calling that SEO and listening to Google chapter and verse. So if a client is already in the dark, when they see in their search console those excluded pages, they read the reasons why it's not in the index. Now remember, it's Google's explanation for why they're not in the index. And they will come to the conclusion that Google is all-powerful and you suck. I'm here to tell you that you the SEO, don't have to wait for Google. That's why I'm publishing this research data. There's a reason that content isn't indexing easily or quickly, and those changes you made to that page, well, they just aren't taking effect, but it's not you. This is what I'm talking about when I say the existential impact of not indexing. I'm looking at the server logs, like I said, which records when the Google bots come and what it does when it's there. And it's definitely crawling the new pages in the sitemap. I mean, if you look at that, you're like, oh man, they've crawled them. It'll be no time before I will be able to search for my keyword and find it. So here's the thing. If Google isn't indexing, nothing will happen after that crawl phase. Items 3 and 4 are not possible without indexation. And I can't with any certainty assign a motivation to this. I can speculate, and that'll be a whole show on its own. But it is clear that the data supports the idea that Google either turns indexing on or off, or Google has broken it. And when it gets fixed, maybe something else breaks. So since we can't really go too far down that road, let's get back to the questions that this experiment is designed to shed some light on. So when you're looking at this page, you can understand what the heck is going on. So the first question is Google indexing new content every day? Since I don't know what day you're listening to, this is broadcast on September 10th, go ahead and check out the page. I'll put a link in the description, or you can Google the phrase Google Index Detector and look for American Way Media result. And today it is at number 7. At the top are 2 circles. The one on the left represents simple rendering, and if it's on, that circle will be green, and if it's off, it'll be red. And if you're providing content for your client and publishing it, chances are you'll see one of these responses in the search console. I'm going to tell you the ones you're most likely to see. The one that we want to see, obviously, is this page is already on Google, but it's more likely you're going to get one of these other 3. 1, Google doesn't know the URL yet. Google has discovered the URL but not crawled it. Google has crawled it but not indexed it. And that is not your SEO optimization at fault. It's Google not working. So now the next question, is Google rendering content within JavaScript? Now the same answer as above, you want to check the index detector page on American Way Media. Now same thing, there's 2 circles at the top, but this time the one on the right is for the JavaScript rendering. So if it's on or green, if it's red, it's off. Now if you're working on a site with Java Framework, if Google isn't rendering your index from within that JavaScript, all the content, all that optimization within that content is not counting for your page. It's not working for you. It's there, but Google is not able to access it. If you have a page comprised of lots of JavaScript that holds your content, it is possible then, when rendering is not working, that your page mostly looks like a blank page to Google. That is not good. But it's not your optimization that's at fault, it's Google. And I definitely, as an aside, recommend reevaluating the use of the JavaScript to deliver your content. All right, now the last question, because this is the one that we all wonder, especially us as testers. If Google isn't indexing every day, how long does it take to get new content indexed? Now, I don't have enough data of Google indexing. So much of it is not most of the days, But, you should check back because there are notes that are going to be in the middle of the page that I write every day as an observation. Once Google gets back into the indexing business, most likely we will be able to see patterns and we'll be able to more precisely predict how long it takes from crawl to index. And I'm really glad that this conversation, this information, has sparked so much discussion in the community about indexation. I think for too long, SEOs have been blamed for things that are not their fault and not in their control. And for too long, Google has gotten a pass because at some point we did all drink the Kool-Aid and keep thinking it can't be Google. Google is infallible. And it is my hope that this research can be used by other perplexed SEOs and marketing teams out there. If you need help from a diagnostic standpoint, okay. Twist my arm, I'll put together a team to help diagnose this for you and get the problem, if not solved, at least better understood so that whatever action is considered to be taken, it'll be a response in the direction of a solution and not a quick reaction with no real solution. So I'm going to stop here today, and I may have an indexation segment on every episode moving forward. It is that essential. But thank you for listening. I appreciate receiving your questions and comments, and you may send them to confessions@AmericanWayMedia.com. And if you missed it and you're wondering, what the heck is all this SEO testing? Where did it come from? And why is she such a strong proponent of it? Check out episode 8. It's called, What is SEO Testing? That's how you know you're at the right one. Please subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening to it, and let your friends know about Confessions. If you want to share it with your colleagues or other business owners, just copy the URL of whatever episode you're listening to. It's also on Amazon Alexa, so you can listen in your car. You do need to enable it on Amazon first, but you can find it by searching for Confessions of an SEO. And of course, you can Google it. You really can't miss it. We all stand to make more business and success with each other when we, both the SEOs and the business owners, understand each other and Google a little better. It's been my pleasure to be your host. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the SERPs when Google is indexing again.